What's up, Internet Land? Zachamus Prime, aka Zachamus Prime, here with another Transformers third-party review. Today, the figure we're taking a look at is going to be the TransArts Metal Mouse. This is the TransArts take on a Transmetal rat trap, and like the other releases that TransArt has done, it really looks like it's like they've taken the original Transmetal toy and just made it slightly larger. Like, it really nails that look to a T with absolute perfection. It's almost like, and I had to, get on I had to get on the internet and look at the old pictures of the old toy to be sure. But it's like, because if you compare this directly with the old toy, it's not the same. It's very similar, but it's not the same. And it's like, it's not exactly like the original, but it's as good as you remember. But yeah, so there's some things that I like about this toy. There's some things that I don't like about this toy, one of which has already become apparent, which is this figure, despite having dedicated heel spurs, combines a massive backpack with somewhat weak heels, and that's a bad combination. So yeah, but we'll have to get into that in just a moment. First, let's take a look at Metal Mouse's accessories. So he comes with quite a few accessories, first of which being white gloves so you don't smudge up your beautiful chrome here. It is really nice looking chrome. Not quite as much chrome on this guy as there was on, some of the other ones in this line, most especially that Optimus Primal figure, but, it is nice that they have been including little gloves for us, so that's nice. So he comes with a stand, and the stand, he comes with a stand that has several parts. It's got the base part here, it's got the little arm that you plug it into, it's got an adapter that you plug in up here. Should I just put this together backwards? No, I didn't. And then it also comes with this little guy, which is a piece of low-carbon stainless steel that has been plasma cut out of what looks like to be 200 mil, sorry, 50 mil, I would say, sheet. At least it was 50 mil before they surface ground one side. But that just plugs into here, undoubtedly to give this a bit more weight to counteract the chunk that is Rat Trap. And then it's got this adapter here on the back, and that just plugs in. You'll see that this has got these two notches here. You can see that in my brand spanking new light. I'm so happy with this light, actually. Well, this is my first review filming with the light, so we'll have to see how it all works out. And that slides into this little guy here, and that keeps him upright. I may think about filming my review like this, because he is awful back heavy, and he does have those bum heels, but anyhow. He also comes with a weapon, which is, these gloves have got so much, like, excess material up in the fingertips that they make it hard to work with. But yeah, so the gun is sculpted very well. You know what? I'm just going to clean all the chrome off and I'm done. It's a bit ridiculous. It was good for a gag. Anyhow, so it is sculpted very nicely and painted very nicely. Some orange and blue, and just... Actually, as I'm looking at this, that blue is all part separated too. So that's part of why that's nice and sharp. Anyhow, he's got tabs, ambidextrous tabs here for either one of his hands. You just take and fit it into a slot in his hand, curl his fingers around that, and now he's holding his gun, which he can point at things and shoot them. Nice. He also comes with a sword, which is also similarly, so it comes in 3 parts. It comes like this. So you've got this part which is cast in plastic, this part which is cast in plastic and painted with nice metallic paint, and then this part which is turned down out of some sort of steel, I want to say. I'm not sure exactly. No, that's also got to be stainless steel. But anyhow, so he's got this little doohickey that you just assemble it together, plug this into his palm, and now he has just an enormous sword. But it looks good. Has got a little pointy thing at the end. He can stab guys with it. It's definitely styled after a rapier, but I think it's a little long to be a functional rapier. But that's nice. He, of course, comes with another version of his tail that goes into the alt mode, but we'll get into this more when we get to the alt mode. He comes with another adapter, which we will also get to in the alt mode, and some flame effects, which we'll get to in the alt mode. On him, he also has, if you open up his forearms, his little bomb things that he can use to blow stuff up. He's got one in each forearm, and you pop that open, you slide this out, slide this out. Yeah. And, yeah, there it is. And these are also, like everything on this figure, sculpted very well. I always thought that was, fairly clever place to keep one's kit just quickly at hand, literally. And I like that they replicated it well here. But anyhow, in terms of articulation, his head is on a ball joint. It will look up. It will look down. When you're looking him up, you're probably going to disconnect his neck from that clip. But it looks up that far without disconnecting it. He does have a jaw function with his little buck teeth inside. Head tilts side to side, rotates all the way around. Get some brain details up there. His shoulders are on little ball joints. His arm shoulder comes out for that much of a tree pose. Goes as far around as you can get without smashing into all this kibble back here, which is, I mean, acceptable. It's all screen accurate, so I guess I can't complain about the kibble too much. Double bend at the elbow. You get a wrist swivel, wrist rotates in and out, and then all 4 fingers are on one hinge. He does have a waist joint, though with all of his rat bits in the back. Good luck getting it to work very well. Also with an ab crunch, and the leg goes forward that much and back that far until it hits the kibble. If he didn't have kibble, then it would go back all the way. Leg goes out for, I would say, 125% of a Van Damme. Maybe 120. He's got a rotation here just above the knee, double bend at the knee, ankle bends forwards and back, and you have a ankle tilt here, and you have the heel, which I mentioned seems far too loose for a kit of this, a figure of this back weight. Though that can be tightened up with some kiki, which I have on hand, but since I'm borrowing this from a friend, I am not super keen on modifying their toy without their express permission. Also, they have Kiki as well, so if he needs that done, he can do that. But yeah, details are... Oh, I forgot to mention another one of his things. So, of course, just like in the show, you can take these off. And underneath these discs is a handle. And you can take this handle and plug it into the center of that disc. Actually, it might be easier to plug this into the hand first. And then curl the fingers around and then plug it into the handle. Yeah. That does not like to hold on to that peg very much at all. There is his Captain Ratmerica shield, of which he's got 2, of course. And so, yeah, that's fun. But we'll take this and plug this back into where it was. But yeah, everything is painted very nicely. You've got this silver paint all over everything. I almost wonder if these parts are actually chrome plated like much of the rest of this figure, and then painted in a semi matte varnish. So of course, you know, with chrome plating, it's an electroplate. They call it electroplating, but usually vacuum metal chrome is you take your pieces, you put them in a vacuum, and then you have a small amount of a material, which you heat up and vaporize in the vacuum, and it produces a metallic mist, which settles on your parts and makes the shiny material. Usually they use aluminum, because aluminum is a very, very shiny metal. And then when they take it out, that coating is very fragile, so then they have to coat it in a varnish. And so, like, of course, there's no red aluminum. This is coated in a red varnish that'll give it the color and also protect it. So if you take it, instead of using a gloss varnish like this that produces a smooth surface finish, if you use a matte varnish, then it would make a more of a like this, where it's not necessarily it's still shiny, but not like reflective, not like mirror finish. So I have a strong suspicion that that's what they did. Also, I'm pretty certain these are die-cast parts here on his knee, so that's something. But anyhow, that's it for his articulation. Let's get him into his robot mode. I mean, his alt mode. His robot mouse mode. So, getting this guy transformed up is a little bit of a task. Let me start by raising up my camera just a smidge. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to start by bending his legs forward, and we're going to get this particular chunk of kibble out of the way, which is this part. It comes here, and then we're going to pull up on get this yeah, there we go. Get that out of the way, and then get this out of the way. This whole chunk of chrome can be disconnected. There's 2 tabs that keep it in place. They can be disconnected, but they don't seem to want to. Well, we'll have to deal with that in a bit. Disconnect this piece here, and then basically all of this is going to come out like so. You can take this whole thing here. I bet you now that this is all disconnected, this will come out. Yeah, there it goes quite nicely. So you can take this, there's a rotation here. Yes, right here. So we can rotate this at, you'll see here on this on this torso, there's a silver part to the back and then the blue part on the front. Rotate it right there. And then now that you've done that, you can rotate this at, there's this rotation joint above the waist. You will need to make sure that you do both those rotations to get this done. And then this whole thing rotates at this joint. Yes, that's how that works. Then you can take his head and fold it in a bit. Make sure that these get folded up more. As you bring them up, you can bring them around on those ball joints. They will tab together like the original Beast Wars toy. They don't really do anything because this whole, because all of this gets, you know, put back in here. But yeah, you can peg them together. So now, coming back to here, let's pull out these panels right here. Well, that popped off too. This is giving me troubles that I didn't have before. And then let's rotate this one. I apparently rotated it the wrong way, which I am greatly sorry for. But no harm, no foul. Take this arm and rotate it. There's this joint right in here. Rotate it that way and that way. And then this is all going to come down. And there's a joint here where this brown and silver chunk rotates at, but then this little armature will also rotate further on its own. And basically what you want is to get this shoulder tucked all the way in up against where his tail goes, his butt. Like so. We'll do that with both arms. Rotate his palms in like that. And that's where we want those arms to hang out. For his body, we're going to take this and fold up his feet. And then we're going to fold these across the rest of the body like so. And what we're aiming for here is to take this and bring it down on, there's all sorts of little joints and armatures in here. You can take this and it kind of tabs in, not really, but kind of tabs in. You can do that. It's mostly as a reference because it probably won't stay. You've got these double joints here, and really what you're looking to do is bring this down so that these slots in the bottom of his feet will plug into these tabs right here. And so we're going to spread this out just a little bit. That's one. And that's two. Come on, two. There we go. That's two. make sure these chromey bit is plugged in. And that's probably about as good as I can expect at this moment. Now what we can do is we can take this and we can open up. Oh, that didn't happen before. Looks like it's just on a simple friction joint. Bring these open, swing this across, swing this down. Oh, let's fold his hands in first. And to do that, we'll just bend them at the elbow and fold them in so that everything looks nice. Assuming that we get everything to look nice. Maybe the best strat is to, yeah, fold up his hands. Get that to go in there and look nice. And then this comes down. You can take, there's a tab here and a tab here. These are treated as two separate tabs because you'll see there's two separate slots there. And you'll just peg those into those slots. And peg those into those slots. That'll help keep that in place. And then this will pull itself into place basically by itself. But this other one is a little bit of a chore to do because you got to tuck this panel under that while taking this one to go. It has to go over that tab, but under this one. Okay, it's not a chore at all. This happened to me in one of my early reviews. But what I have had trouble with is getting that tab to just hold on nicely inside that slot. It doesn't really want to hold it very well, but once you get everything squozen properly, it doesn't. It's not super keen on coming like massively undone. But that's basically the body of the mouse right there. You can take this and swing up his arms, pull out his feet, and then we'll do the same for his legs. We can take this and straighten out that little series of hinges and then bring this down, and that kind of clicks into place. And for the other side as well. And since both of his Captain America rat shields have come off, we'll just throw those back on real quick. Captain America rat. Fuck yeah. And now we will plug in his other tail right here. Kind of bring this around. This is like a rubber with a wire in it, so you can pose this all about. And there you have Rat Trap Metal Mouse in his alt mode. And it looks, I mean, it looks exactly like he did on the show. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. I literally cannot find fault in the way this is put together. Oh, by the way, this brown piece tabs into that silver piece, helping to keep the ass all together. It's quite nice. Now, of course, this is a transmetal, so he has a kind of vehicleized mode as well. And to do that, what we can do is disconnect these and kind of pull them out. And turn around here to the underside of his leg and slide this back into where it was for its robot mode. And then swing out this tab, which is going to kind of peg into place. And then this is a tab that's going to fit into this hole right here. And we'll bring that down. And plug this thing back in again. And plug that in somehow. There we go. And do the same for the other side. pull this all the way out, bring this up, slide this up, fold this into place, bring this out until it kind of pops into place, swing this down and plug it into that hole. These arms are going to fold in, and you can bring up the arms, and you'll see that this is on a swing like so, and make sure this swings down. And I'm not sure off the top of my head where the positioning of the feet go. I think I'm just going to do it like this. And now he's on wheels. And he can zip along. Oh. Pull out his little exhaust pipes. And exhaust pipes have got little details that we can put on them. More accessories. That really does look cute. So there we go. Zips along, actually rolls quite nicely. Another accessory that he has in this mode is this little guy right here. You can take this and plug this in to that same notch that you had for his figure stand, and this provides a port that you can plug this into the mounting hole for the Masterpiece Dinobot, and now he can take the Transmetal Express. So that's something that you can do. I don't have Dinobot on me, so I'm not going to do that. But, you know, imagine it very much. In terms of articulation, I always put his feet away, didn't I? He had... His upper shoulder here is at a ball joint. He's got a single hinge here at the elbow, and then kind of, it is a ball joint here at the foot. And then on this little foot in here, which we'll bring out again real quick, he's got a ball joint at the base of that leg, and then a hinge joint, hinge joint, hinge joint. No ball joints in the foot. His head does have, it is on the ball joint, so it does have some posability. It can look up and down, rotate, but not really. Like, it's extremely limited. There is some rotation, but he can open up his mouth. He's got a tongue that is a separate piece. And then this little thing, is this a feature? I just saw this. I have no idea what that's all about. Oh, I wonder if there's a... No, I don't know. I was going to say, I wonder if there's a light that goes in there. His head opens for some reason, which is undisclosed. But anyhow, that's Rat Trap. I mean, Metal Mouse. And, again, for anybody who is a fan of Beast Machines, I don't need to introduce this to you. You've already got one in your collection, I'm sure. Because Transart has been making just perfect, beautiful, faithful recreations of all of the old, you know, Transmetal figures. It's been really amazing. If you have not, if you are not currently getting these figures, and you feel like you need some Transmetal figures up to and including Transmetal Rat Trap, this is absolutely the one to get. Well, of course, nobody else makes a Transmetal Rat Trap, so your options would be limited, but be glad that your options are as perfect as they are. But anyhow, that's it for this review. Everybody, thanks for watching. You guys are fantastic. Everybody stay awesome and be good to each other. See ya.